Angelo, nice to see what Micron's saying, and they actually brought some optimism about what's going on in China, that things can get back to normal a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess our takeaway here is, overall, I think the results were okay, better than expected. But that being said, I think you've got to be a little bit cautious here because it does look like there are some orders being pulled in. And, historically, where a lot of these chip names have actually been leading indicators for the economy, I actually feel like this is an instance where they're actually a lagging indicator. And that's largely because of that pull-in effect we're seeing here. We don't actually know what the end demand landscape is going to be here over the next couple of months. And because of that, we'd actually be very cautious on some of the commentary they made.
Angelo, just to clarify, CFRA Research, what are some of the calls right now? Or what kind of ratings do you have on some of these names so we have a better understanding of where the company stands for investment purposes?
Yeah, I mean, as far as our view in terms of how to play semiconductors right now, we actually think what Micron alluded to last night is actually the best way to do it at the moment going into Q1 earnings season. And that's essentially the strongest area is going to be data centers. So names that you kind of want to be gravitated to a little bit more so are the likes of, an AMD or an NVIDIA or an Intel. We think those names probably hold up a little bit better than the rest of the pack. Whereas you kind of go into earnings season and really the weakness is going to come more so into smartphones as well as, autos. And that's, a number of names like a Maxim or, NXP Semiconductors, among others.
Daniel Rubino, your thoughts first on Micron and the numbers that we heard and the details from the reports last night.
Yeah, obviously Micron was almost the exception here with having exceptionally good numbers and beating expectations, and that's a good sign. And what's really important here is we're starting to see China open up a little bit, and from my sources and what I'm hearing, companies like Microsoft, of course Intel, are going to be able to meet demand and make the products they need to and deliver them to market. So that's the positive news here, is that we're not seeing a complete shutdown of that production. And of course, Micron plays a role in that, as DRAM is going to be very important in upcoming a lot of consumer products, as well as the work from home stuff. So we are seeing on our own site and an uptick in people buying computers and laptops, and Micron spoke this as well. Since the market is now shifting to work from home, people need to buy new equipment. So this all bodes well for the future and where Micron plays a big role here. Because however our new economy is going to be shaped after this pandemic, I think Micron is going to play a big role in it down the line. Now, the big issue, of course, is consumer demand. So as long as people are losing jobs and not able to afford all these consumer products, things like new gaming consoles, new laptops, and especially new smartphones won't be able to be pushed off the shelf. So that's going to be the real issue and the thing to watch going to second quarter.
Yeah, you talk about data center demand. You talk about what we're seeing in gaming, which I want to get to in a moment. Yeah. When we talk about names like AMD, Intel, Angelo, you mentioned those being probably the better plays, NVIDIA at this time. So do you recommend that people start nibbling and buying these names here at these lower levels?
Yeah, no, absolutely. When we kind of look at the pullback here in the broader market, I mean, we would definitely be more selective in terms of the semiconductor market rather than kind of buying the actual index. And, clearly where you want to be exposed to right now is on the more secular driven plays. Now, our view is kind of the best plays out there continue to be on the data center side, as well as plays on 5G. Now, we are seeing some pushouts in terms of 5G, but that being said, China remains very committed on their end of things. And we do think, hey, listen, this is more of some order pushouts than it is more of a structural, damage being done to a lot of these names. So on the 5G side of things, specifically, we like names like a Broadcom as well as Skyworks Semiconductor.
Daniel, final thought?
Yeah, Micron, I think, is to watch. We don't know how low this market is going to go, unfortunately, but at least they're a bright side here. I do agree also that, this is mostly a push out, right? This isn't going to fundamentally alter the economy against where Micron is. In fact, it's only going to help them down the road. The question is when does consumer demand start to pick up again? And that's what's really going to save them. But they're being buttressed by good results from this last quarter. And I think they'll be able to recover going to 2021 as the rest of the market does as well.